The war between China and United States is inevitable, not because China is rising and challenging hegemony of the US, but because China is declining. And that is the problem to worry about. But why? Let's have a brief look. If we look at history, it is typically said that when a rising power tries to challenge a hegemon with stability, there will eventually be a big war between them. It is called the Thucydides Trap, implying the ancient Greek wars for power. But this idea seems to have a flaw, and that is not justifying reasons and dynamics that lead to this war. For example, in the case of China, if Beijing has a feeling that it is swiftly progressing and that there is no limits or obstacles on the way, like it has been going forward in the last decades, they would prefer to go on like that as long as they can, to reach their opponent at least in economic sphere. I mean, there is no need for a war if it's that obvious, or at least in this case, the rising power could postpone any confrontation with the reigning hegemon until it gets more powerful enough to remove the hegemon from its position. But it's not that easy. China is actually facing real economic problems, and most of them are not originating from America's plans to contain them, but their own policies like the zero COVID policy or the push to limit billionaires in favor of poor people. There is also two more very important aspects. The first one is that China has almost got everything it wants from the global market. They don't have any more new markets to sneak in. In other words, they have reached to the peak of the mountain. And finally, the Western coalition to confront China. Donald Trump started this game to forcibly get China out of its shelter, which was built during the Deng Xiaoping era. China always wanted to progress without others paying any attention, in silence. Trump forced them to come out and to act more boldly and aggressively. Now, atmosphere among Chinese elite in Beijing is much more different from the past. The confidence and positive prospects of progressing in economy and military in coming years because of the above-mentioned issues have given its room to some kind of doubt and despair. This feeling for a long-rising country is like a poison, and this is the danger I was talking about. When they feel the danger that they could face decline and that there is no more room for getting more powerful, they will eventually decide to challenge the hegemon before it's too late. Based on a recent article by Hal Brands and Michael Beckley in Financial Times, in recent history, at least two other nations also experienced the same situation, namely Germany and Japan before the World War II. Now, the global chaotic situation and perspectives of any war between China and Taiwan, while Russia has started to change the game, makes any confrontation between Washington and Beijing even more possible. So US now has to be very careful not to provoke the declining China. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and write your opinion about this down in the comments.